We have finally made it to the month of December after the incredibly difficult November with all the intense astrology that's been going on. So I hope that as we get into December that everybody can kind of breathe a collective sigh of relief. In truth, it's going to take us to about the middle of December astrologically before we're going to feel like we have a clear direction. Um, the month of November basically made us feel like we were on a boat. We are going towards a harbor, and all of a sudden we realize a hurricane is coming at us. And so, no matter what we have been trying to do in the month of November, it's just not been a straight line. That boat kind of has to keep turning into the waves, and it has to keep going up and over the waves. And it's just been no straight, direct line. The pattern that I've been hearing from people the most is that they made decisions this year that now they're unmaking, or they're having to go backwards on, or where they used to be, they have to go back to, or the agreements that they made now have kind of trapped them into a situation that they have to undo those agreements and figure out how to move forward. So, the month of December is usually a time of celebration, but perhaps it's not as celebratory as you might think. The best news is that December is a month that is going to have a great improvement over November's emotional intensity. As Neptune kind of continues to gain ground and move forward, there is at least a feeling of clarity as to the direction that your soul wishes to move towards. The risk now is in allowing others' opinions and perceptions and or fears to undermine your confidence and your decision. There are moments when you're going to need others' approval, but this is not going to be one of them. You will have to remain unified within your own center, regardless of the consensus around you. Don't worry. You will find others of like mind that will help you find the new connections that you are seeking. There is a great cause for celebration because there is a feeling of magic in the air and a hopeful sense that as you look to the new future that you are creating, that hopefully it's going to feel more in alignment with who you truly are. Now, again, astrologically, November was so intense. It's almost like the blinders came off of everybody, or the rose-colored glasses came off everybody, and we are suddenly faced with the horror of the incredible disassociation that some people are having between truth and the places that they hold inside as sacred. I want you to think of it as Saturn is trying to create a structure around your beliefs. Neptune, which is a much bigger planet with greater mass, is dissolving away those structures that you have so carefully built in your reality. So there's this dissolution of your beliefs, a dissolution of the structure that you're creating. And it's kind of hard to look around and realize that, these truths that were created in America that are beautiful premises, that there are some people that don't want to be there. And this has happened throughout history. So this is not the only time in America that we are faced with our own bigotry, or we're faced with our own prejudices. It's just that over and over again, it's like these core truths that our founding fathers have created, we have to come back to and go, wow, all men are created equal. We are a country that is supposed to bring those to a place of new freedom, but we still hold our prejudices. So there is an incredible attempt that the universe is trying to do to wake you up, get you to see your mental patterns of perception that are not founded in any reality, and to get you to come back to a place of hope. So what I want you to do is I want you to remember your innocent heart, and I want you to remember your playful spirit, and I want you to allow Neptune's water to break down old patterns of perception that are not really about love and not really about acceptance and truth of all people. Society has always said, oh, there's this bad group, And over again, they find that that bad group is not a bad group. And so we have fears, and we let our fears sort of take over our reality. What I want all of you to do for this December is to come from a place of unconditional love and acceptance so that you can kind of move forward from a place of truth and honor. So hopefully this month is going to begin a celebratory dance that might take a little bit longer than just this month. But right now, what you're trying to do is set the stage and prepare for this moment of triumph. So your heart is trying to be empowered, and you're being awakened to see the wholeness, even in the smallest parts and pieces that are drifting into your consciousness. Yes, there are going to be moments of frustration and helplessness. Yes, you will question the sanity of what you are doing. But you are not crazy. You are just done with this old self of yours. You're done with the fear that has paralyzed you for too long. You are done with caring what others think. Your heart is screaming at you, and it will no longer allow you to remain in a place that does not allow for you to show the brilliant light that you are. Your heart demands space and its own voice for you and others to hear. You are seeking expression of your clarity and confidence. Just be careful that as this energy comes out, you do not allow it to come across as arrogance. Inside yourself, you have achieved a victory over your own internal opposition in the month of November. And hopefully now you have freed yourself from that place of limitation. Others may not see that or want to accept that, but what others want is not important this month. What is important is that you breathe the air of freedom and change, and you give that sense of freedom and change to others. You take in the release that has been a long time coming, and you show the way through your compassionate heart, and in how you give permission for each person to have his or her own journey to awakening around you. Celebrate your life with movement and dance and parties and connecting with other people. Allow your ecstatic self to weave its connection into all things. Let your beauty be the illumination for others' potential. You are of this earth, and your life is woven into the very tapestry of it. Within the movement is an inner silence and stillness of acceptance and love. When fear moves to the side and joy overtakes the soul, you become an unstoppable force for good. Let that flow while it can, because life is forever shifting, and those waves that want to pull you backwards and forwards are just what life is about. Know that fear is not less important than joy. It is just that joy can be expressed at the same time as fear. When you understand that fear is a natural expression of a body that lives in this dimension of life and death, and that the body will always notice fear in order to keep the body alive, then you will no longer need to focus on it so much. Feel the fear and then find the joy anyway. Know that you will die at some point, but do not fixate on that truth. Instead, focus on the beauty of this moment and allow the joy and love to express through the form of limited existence. Know the fragility of the body, but also the powerful expression of love that the soul longs to show. So have a wonderful December. Celebrate life. Celebrate your connections with people. Share your heart and love. Share the giving that is inside your soul with as many people that you can, that you feel really can connect to that heart that is you. Have a wonderful December.